Myself, Jayashree Inchal, welcomes you for the next lecture series on Unix programming with lecture number 3. In the previous class, we have discussed about the files and process, how exactly the file is defined in Unix, that is array of bytes, which is going to store the information. And also we have discussed about the directory structure also and how to locate those files with the help of some commands such as cd, ls, and how to create the directories and all. And these are normally how these Unix commands are written and how to execute on the command prompt. And also we have discussed about some path variable. In that, the sequence of directories that the shell searches to look for a command which is going to be specified in a own path variable. And also we have discussed about some internal and external commands differences. Internal commands are normally called as built-in commands, and external commands are implemented as part of the uh, command like a structure. So in this today's class, we are going to study more about the features of Unix and what are all the Unix specification in Unix and the POSIX and single Unix specifications, and some of the basic Unix commands such as echo, printf, ls, who, date, password, calendar, etc. So with this you will be able to understand how to use a command and command structure in the Unix. Now let us discuss the features of Unix. Unix is an operating system and it has all the features of an operating system as expected to have, like a multi-user system, multitasking and building block approach, Unix toolkit and pattern matching, programming facility and documentation. A multi-user system in Unix is going to permit the multiple programs to run and complete for the attention of the CPU. This can be done in two ways. The multiple users can run separate jobs, or a single user can run multiple jobs. So if this is a case, then normally we call it as a multitasking system. If a single user can run multiple tasks concurrently, that is what is called as multitasking system. Unix is a multitasking system and is usual for all users to edit a file, print another one on the printer, send the email to a friend, or browse with any of the websites, all without leaving any of the applications. The kernel is designed to handle all these users' multiple needs. In a multitasking environment, the user sees one job running in the foreground and rest run in the background. So user can switch the jobs or processes between the background and the foreground, and even he can manage the processes with suspending and even terminate the processes. Next, other one is the building block approach. And the designer never attempted to consider about the too many features into a few tools. Instead, they felt like a very small operating system and should be beautiful, which was developed with a few hundreds of commands, each of which are going to be performed with one simple job. And Unix is going to offer these combining of the various simple tools, and they are going to carry out some complex jobs. Say for example cat command, which is going to display the contents also, as well as which is able to um, create the file also, and which is going to count the number of lines, words, characters in the file, so that one or more even commands can be combined, so that the flexibility of the command usage may be more, and which is going to provide the rich set of commands in the Unix environment. This toolkit has special special consideration will be considered for the kernel itself, which kernel will take the uh, responsibility of doesn't do much useful task for the users, but Unix is going to offer the facility to add and remove many applications as and when required. And these tools are included some general purpose tools like text manipulation tools, compilers, interpreters, networked application, and even system administration tools. The next feature is pattern matching. The Unix shell is also programming, Unix features is very sophisticated pattern matching features, such that normally this pattern matching will be handled with the help of a star. Star indicates that zero or more occurrences of character, which is a special character used by a system to indicate that it can match any number of file names. Then another feature of the Unix is very important, programming facility. Unix shell is also a programming language. Already we have discussed about this. It was designed for programmer but not for the end user, and which is going to have some necessary ingredients like controlling the structures, loops, variables. These are the things very necessary for any essential for any of the programming language which establish the powerful programming language. And these features are used to design a shell uh, scripts also. These shell scripts are some programs that can invoke the Unix commands. Many of the systems functions that can be controlled and automated by using these all scripts. Next, last feature of the Unix is the documentation. The principal on online help facility will be available with the help of some commands. Say for example, man command. This will help us to consider the most important references for commands and their configuration file. Apart from the man documentation, even there is a vast ocean of Unix resources available on the internet also. Through that it can maintain some documentation or help which will aid the user to use the commands very easily. So these are very important features of a Unix operating system. There is another flavor of Unix, that is POSIX. POSIX and the single Unix specification. Dennis Ritchie decision to write the Unix in C didn't make a Unix portable. That already we have discussed in a history. So Unix fragmentation and an absence of single standard affected by the development of portable applications. So first and foremost, it has been taken taken the single standard with the portable applications so that it should be hardware independent. First, AT&T creates the System5 interface design, that is System5 interface design. Later, the X-Open consortium of vendors created this X-Open portability guide. And product of these specifications were initially termed as Unix 95, Unix 98, and Unix 05. And later, it has been uh, considered with another group of standards with the POSIX, that is Portable Operating System for Computer Environment. This was initially developed by the IEEE, uh, which is going to have the two more its standards for POSIX with some versions, POSIX.1, which is going to specify some C application programming interface that system calls as a kernel, and POSIX.2, which is going to deals with the shell and utilities. In 2001, the joint initiative of Xopen and IEEE resulted in the unification of two standard, and this was the single Unix specification with version number 3. So this has been given a very nice slogan or approach for Unix development. Write once and adopt everywhere, means write one, you can use it many times and everywhere. So approach to this development means that once a software has been developed on POSIX, on any POSIX machine, it can easily be ported to another POSIX compliant machine with minimum or even no modification. So now let us move to very important and interesting of this Unix is about the some basics commands. When you if you want to use Unix operating system, we should understand some basics of Unix command. So now let us move to the first command, that is cal command. CAL. Cal command can be used to see the calendar of any specific month or a complete year. So how to use this is there will be a command prompt either in the form of this dollar or hash. So in front of that command prompt, you just we have to type the cal. Normally these commands will be written in small case letter, please remember this. And calendar, and this is what the syntax, either we are going to provide the options as month or year, these are optional. Just if you provide the calendar, which is going to display us the current calendar, current month calendar. So for example, if it is calendar, so now this is September 2020 or 2017. This is what the snapshot taken from the textbook, September 2017. So like that, which is going to display the current month calendar. So everything within the rectangular box, whatever this is there in the rectangular box, is optional. So cal command can be used without any arguments, in which in which case it displays the calendar of the current month. The syntax shows that the cal can be used even without argument, and the month is optional but year is not. If you want to have the only specific calendar of the month of August of 2017 of or any other year, like that, just you have to give the option like calendar 8 means the month of the August and the particular year. So at that time, it is this cal command is going to use two arguments, one is a month and another one is year. So directly it will show the calendar with August month 2017 calendar. So you can't hold the calendar of a year. Even if I want to see the whole year calendar also, just we have to give calendar 2017. So if you just display the whole year calendar, even single screen is not able to hold that whole calendar, whole 12 months calendar. So it's better to use the scroll off, so that it normally when you just display the whole year calendar, you just scroll off rapidly, and we have to use the control S to make it pause and all. And to make calendar pause using pager command, using the symbol, this pipe symbol, normally we call it this as an pipe symbol, which is going to combine the two or more commands. This symbol used to connect them. So this is how actually we are going to write cal 2017, or in which year calendar, with all the months. If you want to see, just you have to provide the year name, year, or more is a pager, so which is able to display all months page by page, not page by page, but not at all once. So if it just scrolls up immediately or rapidly, even we are unable to view that whole calendar. Again, I have to go for the scrolling of the mouse, and it is necessary to view the whole calendar. So these are the different ways how the cal command can be used. Then now let us move to the next command, date, DATE. So date is going to display the system date. One can display the current date with the date command, and which shows the date as well as time to its nearest second. So just we have to type the command as date, DATE, in small case letter, so which is able to display the today's date with the particular timing with nearest seconds. This is what the output of the date command. Say for example, Monday, September 4 and 1640, and this is a nearest second in and ist the year. This command can also be used with some suitable format specifiers as an arguments, and each symbol is preceded by the plus symbol followed by the mod operator and a single character describing the format. For instance, if we want to print only the month using the format, so that we have to use plus mod m. So like that we have to use date plus mod m, so which is able to display 09, or the month name if I want to display. So for that you have to use the plus uh, mod h, so which is going to display the month name. This is month number, like that, which is able to have the different options. Even you can try if you have the Linux operating system. And you can combine these all the commands with one another. So date plus mod h and mod m, so which is able to display August 8, like that. There are many other format specifiers. Normally we call it as, these are as an format specifiers. There are many format specifiers associated with the date command. uh, First one is D is going to display the day of the month, so 1 to 31, like this it is going to display. Then Y, the last two digits of the year. If I just specify instead of this, so just last two digits, 17 is going to be displayed. HMS, So the hour, minute, second respectively. Then D is in the format month, date and YY. And T, the time, in the format hours, minutes and seconds. So all the options related with the date and time in terms of month, year and date, as well as in terms of time in terms of hours, minutes and seconds. These are the different options normally can be considered for the system date. So all these options will be displayed with the help of some format specifiers listed here. So if we, according to our requirement, we will be using these any of the format specifiers. Next command is echo, echo, which is going to display the message. Echo command is used in shell scripts. So this is normally used in shell programming. Later again you are going to study in detail in shell programming. Until that, this is also used as an command also, which is going to display the message on the terminal or to issue a prompt for taking the user input. Say for example, echo, enter your name. Suppose if I want to enter my name. So that whatever the thing you want to display on the terminal should be given in double quotation. Should be given in double quotation, so that when you press an enter and it will show what you have written within the double quotation. So that is enter your name. So which is going to display the whatever we have written within the echo double quotation. And if I want to go for echo shell, so shell, what exactly the shell path is there. So shell path is normally present in user bin bash. So this is how actually it is going to display with the message. And even echo can be used with different escape sequences like this C and slash n, like that, which is going to have some escape sequences. So C is going to be used for considering the displaying of the message, and which is able to have the whatever the user is going to enter, that thing will be read. So another escape sequences can be used with echo command like slash a, so which is going to give us the audible alert like in the form of an bell. Then slash b, backspace, f, form feed, slash n, new line, r, carriage return, t, horizontal tab, v, vertical tab, like vertical space between, then backslash, and this one octal value on. So that is ASCII character represented by the octal value of n. So these are the different escape sequences used as an escape sequences at the end of this statement can be used with the echo command. Next is about the printf command. This is an alternative to echo. Both echo and printf are same, which are even both are going to display the message on the terminal. This printf command is available on most modern Unix systems and is the one we can use the instead of echo. Either you can use the echo or printf. The command is the simplest form, can be used in the same way as echo itself. Just you have to write printf. Printf, enter your name, and then slash n. So enter your name. Then printf also accepts all escape sequences used by echo, same like that. But unlike echo, it doesn't automatically insert a new line unless slash n is used explicitly. So normally if you write echo, automatically it will move to the next line, but explicitly we have to specify in printf. And printf also uses formatted string in the same way as the C language function of the same name uses them. So yes, uh, next this is one example. Printf, my current shell is percentage %s slash n. So this is dollar shell. So which is able to display now the current shell is which path. So this is a path where actually the current shell is bin bash. Next, the percentage %s is a format string, act as a placeholder for the value of the shell. And printf replaces the string, that is format specifier for the string %s with the value of the dollar shell. So percentage %s is the standard format used for printing strings. Printf uses many of the formats used by the C's printf function. Here are other some commonly used ones. Percentage Yes, this is going to indicate the string. Then 30 years, this is going to be printed with space 30 characters wide. Percentage D, that is decimal integer. Percentage 6D, that is used for 30 characters wide. Percentage O, that is octal integer. And percentage X, hexadecimal integer. Percentage F, float point number. So this is how we are going to use these format specifier in printf. $printf, then unquoted comma, the value of 255 is percentage O in octal and percentage X in hexadecimal, means which is going to display the 255 in octal is 377 and 255 in hexadecimal is FF. So this is how it is going to convert the value of 255 in terms of octal value and the hexadecimal value with the help of these format specifiers in the printf. Next command is about the who. Who is a command in Unix which is going to display who are all the users are currently logged in onto the system. So Unix is going to maintain an account list of all the users logged in onto the system. If I want to know how many number of users have logged in onto the system, so that is going to display the informative listing of these users. So just we have to type who. So these are the different users. It is going to list out Mahesh, TTY, in which terminal, the date and time. So in this way the system is going to give us who are all the logged in users currently using the system. And even following command displays the header information with minus h option. So just if I write who space minus h, then which is going to give us the header information. What exactly the header? Name is a header, for example say Mahesh. Then line is a terminal, which terminal he has logged in. What is the date and time? For example, this is a date and time he has logged in. And comment. And then another option minus u is also can be used with a who command, which is going to display the detailed information of the users. So detailed information of the users related with name, line, time, idle, whether he is idle or no, PID, that is process ID, then comment. So all those details will be displayed with the detailed list with the option minus u. So today we have discussed some basics commands such as echo, printf, who, date, cal, and how to use the commands with options and arguments. In the next class again we are going to study more about these commands. So now if you are try to understand and if you work with all these commands, you are going to understand the concepts of making out of mind, and you are going to get the information how to use the commands, options with its arguments. Now if with these help of the commands, even you can go for creating, evaluating and analyzing with the higher levels of Bloom's taxonomy. So at the initial stage you have to first try to understand what the basic Unix commands can do. Then later you are going to apply those and for creating any of the application. Depending upon the today's lecture, these are the some questions for your practice. Differentiate between Unix and POSIX file specification, features of Unix, list some basics commands. Any basic commands you have to list out and explain with its syntax. Explain who command with its option. For the today's material, you refer the textbook, Smita Das, Unix concepts and application. Refer chapter 3, subsection 3.1 and page numbers from 45 to 50. Additional information you can refer for the video lecture link. This is what the YouTube link. Suppose